Welcome to my channel Travel Guide. Emirates grounds Airbus A380s. Here's why. Emirates, the largest operator of the Airbus A380, grounded its fleet of these superjumbo jets primarily due to the unprecedented impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and operational challenges. Below are 10 key points explaining why Emirates grounded its A380s. COVID-19 pandemic and travel restrictions. The primary catalyst for grounding Emirates A380s was the global COVID-19 pandemic, which began in early 2020. As countries imposed strict travel bans and lockdowns, international air travel demand plummeted to near zero. Emirates, relying heavily on its hub-and-spoke model centered in Dubai, faced severe disruptions as borders closed and passenger confidence collapsed. By late March 2020, Emirates grounded approximately 85% of its fleet, including a significant portion of its A380s, as it was no longer viable to operate passenger services with such low demand. The A380, designed for high-capacity long-haul routes, became impractical when routes were restricted or empty. High operating costs. The A380's four-engine configuration results in higher fuel consumption compared to modern twin-engine aircraft like the Boeing 787 or Airbus A350. With fuel costs already a significant expense, operating the A380 at low load factors during the pandemic was financially unsustainable. Even in normal times, the aircraft's operating economics posed challenges, but the near-total collapse of passenger revenue made it impossible to justify the costs of flying these jets. Grounding them helped Emirates conserve cash and limit losses during the crisis. Hub-and-spoke model dependency. Emirates' business model revolves around its Dubai hub, funneling passengers from various regions to connect to long-haul destinations. The A380's large capacity, up to 615 seats in Emirates configuration, is ideal for high-demand routes feeding this hub. However, when global travel restrictions halted international connectivity, the hub-and-spoke model faltered. Without sufficient passengers to fill the A380's vast cabins, Emirates had no choice but to ground these aircraft, as they were not suited for the limited, low-demand routes available. Lack of demand for large aircraft. The A380's size, while a strength on busy routes, became a liability during the pandemic. Its high seat count, often 500 to 615 passengers in Emirates layout, requires strong demand to achieve profitability. With travel demand at historic lows, filling even a fraction of these seats was unfeasible. Smaller aircraft, or even cargo conversions of passenger jets, were more practical for the limited operations Emirates could sustain, leading to the A380's grounding. Storage and maintenance logistics. Grounding the A380s required significant logistical efforts, as Emirates parked 218 of its 270 aircraft, including most A380s, at Dubai International Airport and Dubai World Central. Preparing these jets for storage involved covering engines, wheels, and tails, a process that took 15,500 hours of work. The decision to ground was partly driven by the need to preserve the fleet's condition for future reactivation while minimizing maintenance costs during inactivity. This strategic move allowed Emirates to focus resources on more viable operations. Global trend of A380 retirements. The grounding of Emirates A380s aligned with a broader industry trend. Many airlines, such as Air France, Malaysia Airlines, and Thai Airways, permanently retired their A380 fleets during the pandemic, citing the aircraft's inefficiency. Emirates, however, chose to ground its fleet temporarily, reflecting its long-term commitment to the A380. The global shift toward smaller, more fuel-efficient twin-engine jets highlighted the A380's vulnerabilities, influencing Emirates' decision to pause operations until demand recovered. Operational inflexibility. The A380's design prioritizes high-capacity routes, making it less versatile for low-demand or point-to-point operations. During the pandemic, airlines pivoted to smaller aircraft that could serve thinner routes or operate as freighters. Emirates, with its A380 heavy fleet, faced challenges adapting to these new realities. Grounding the A380s allowed the airline to rely on its Boeing 777s, which offered more flexibility for limited passenger and cargo operations. Financial preservation: Emirates faced immense financial pressure during the pandemic, as did the entire aviation industry. Grounding the A380s was a critical cost-saving measure to stabilize the airline's finances. With no revenue from passenger flights and high fixed costs for operating the A380, parking these jets helped Emirates avoid further losses. The airline focused on repatriation flights and cargo operations using smaller aircraft to maintain some revenue streams. Engine and maintenance challenges. The A380's complex systems and 4 engines require extensive maintenance, which became a burden during the pandemic. Some A380s, like A6EO, experienced engine damage incidents, further complicating operations. Grounding the fleet allowed Emirates to defer costly maintenance and inspections, preserving resources until demand justified reactivating the aircraft. For instance, returning an A380 to service after years of storage requires approximately 4,500 hours of work, a significant investment Emirates delayed until recovery. Strategic fleet management. Emirates' grounding of the A380s was part of a broader strategy to manage its fleet during uncertainty. While the airline remains the A380's biggest advocate, planning to fly the jet into the 2040s, the pandemic forced a temporary shift in priorities. By grounding the A380s, Emirates could focus on reactivating its Boeing 777s and, later, integrating the more versatile Airbus A350 into its fleet. This allowed Emirates to adapt to changing market conditions while preserving its A380s for high-demand routes post-recovery. In summary, Emirates grounded its Airbus A380s due to the catastrophic decline in travel demand caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, the aircraft's high operating costs, and its incompatibility with low-demand routes. The airline's hub-and-spoke model, reliant on high-capacity jets, was severely disrupted, and the A380's inflexibility and maintenance demands made grounding a necessity. Strategic financial preservation and alignment with industry trends toward smaller, efficient aircraft also played a role. However, Emirates' commitment to the A380 remained evident, as it reactivated many of these jets by 2025, leveraging their luxury and capacity for high-traffic routes. The grounding was a pragmatic response to an unprecedented crisis, balancing short-term survival with long-term fleet strategy. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.